Would you give your last dollar to a stranger if it meant you and your grandson might sleep on the street tonight? One man did that for me when I was a scared schoolgirl. Nobody, and 15 years later, I woke up with the power to either save his life or pretend I never knew his name. If you think you know what you would do, listen to this first. My name is Naomi, and this is not a fairy tale, even if it sounds like one. This is about one morning, one act of kindness, and how long the world made that man suffer before anyone called it a blessing. I was 15 the day everything snapped. Skinny kid, faded uniform shoes that flapped when I walked, clutching a worn-out school bag like it was a bank vault. Inside that bag was my school fees, 4,000 naira, but it felt like 4 million because it was every shred of dignity my mother had left in my stepfather's house. He made it clear, if this girl does not pay today, if she comes back without that receipt, both of you are out. Do you hear me? I heard him. The whole neighborhood heard him. So I walked fast under the hot morning sun, talking to myself, begging God, planning how I would show the receipt with a small smile so he wouldn't explode. I got close to school. I could see the gate, that old rusted iron, and I remember thinking, okay, just get inside, just pay, just breathe. I reached into my bag. Nothing. I thought maybe my fingers missed, so I checked again, deeper under my books, under my notes, shaking the bag like the money might magically fall back into my hand. Still nothing. My heart started beating inside my throat. I stepped aside, opened the bag, fully dumped everything in my arms, searching for even one folded note. Gone. And let me tell you, that kind of panic is different. It wasn't just, oh no, I lost money. It was, I just lost my home, my mother's safety, whatever fake respect we still had in that house. I retraced my steps under the sun eyes on the ground, scanning every crack, every gutter, every patch of dirt. People walked past in their neat clothes, students laughed with their backpacks zipped tight, and I was spinning in circles, whispering, no, 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 God, please, no. Nobody stopped. Finally, my legs just gave up. I sank down near this row of tiny roadside stalls right beside a crooked wooden shed patched together with nails and prayers. I buried my face in my hands and cried. Not cute tears, not that soft movie crying, but the ugly shaking kind where you can't breathe and your chest hurts. Then I heard a voice. My child, why are you crying like this? I looked up. It was an older man sitting by that small wooden shed. He had a tiny table in front of him with worn sandals, leather, a hammer glue, bits of thread. A roadside shoemaker, nothing fancy. His shirt was faded, his hands dark with polish, his face lined, but his eyes were gentle, and that almost made me cry harder. I lost my school fees, I choked out. My stepfather gave me the money. I don't know where it fell. If I go back home without paying, he will throw us out. He said he would. I don't know what to do. He stepped closer, slow, like he didn't want to scare me. How much is it? He asked. 4,000 naira. He went quiet. And I saw it, this flicker in his eyes, that quick calculation of, this is a lot for me, that tension between survival and compassion. I expected him to say what everyone says when they're tired of your problems. Sorry, I wish I could help. Instead, he reached into his pocket. He pulled out a small, folded bundle of notes, the kind you hold tight because it's everything you have. He counted silently, and my stomach twisted because something in me understood this was not spare change. Then he pressed the money into my hand. Take it, he said. Go and pay your fees. I stared at him. Sir, I can't take this. I don't even know you. What about your own? He smiled soft and tired. My name is Johnson. Be serious in school. Don't follow bad friends. One day you will be great, my daughter. Just don't forget me. That was it. No contract, no conditions, just a man with almost nothing giving me absolutely everything. I ran to school like my life was on fire. I paid. I got the receipt. I held that slip of paper like armor and thought we are safe. For one day we are safe. I whispered, God, please bless that man. Please, I will never forget Johnson. What I did not know, what still breaks my heart when I say it out loud, is that while I was sitting in class feeling saved, his world was being torn apart. Same morning, same sun. On that road where his little shed stood, trucks rolled in. Those big, loud government trucks that never look you in the eyes. Men in uniforms with megaphones yelling orders that leave no room for human beings. All roadside stalls must be removed immediately. Government land. You were warned. Maybe some people were warned. Men like Johnson, they just try to wake up and work. Before he could gather his tools, they started pulling the shed apart like it was trash. His umbrella, his table, the shoes he was fixing, everything he needed to eat lying in the dust. Please let me pack my things, he begged. Please, this is my only work. They didn't care. One of them shoved him back. Somebody laughed. In less than 10 minutes, the place where he had built his small life was gone. Pattern interrupt, he had just given away his last money. He walked home that day with dust on his feet, carrying a plastic bag with whatever he could save, trying to think of a way to tell his grandson Andrew that they would figure it out. When he turned the corner to his house, he saw all their belongings outside the gate. The landlady stood there, arms crossed. "Johnson, I told you, 1 year and 6 months no rent. I don't run a charity. I have new tenants coming. Take your things and leave." He pleaded. "Please, just a little more time, my sister. They destroyed my shed. I will find another way. I will pay, please." She shook her head. "I am done," and she shut the gate. That night, while I slept under a roof because of him, Johnson and Andrew slept by the roadside beside their scattered bags. Tell me this, do you think that's fair? If it were you and you knew this might happen, would you still give that girl your last money? Or would you look away like everyone else did? The next morning, Johnson did something men like him do when they refuse to die quietly. He got up, dusted off his clothes, and took Andrew to another city to look for an old friend, Simon. Years back when Simon's mother was sick, Johnson had sold his phone to help. That kind of thing doesn't trend, doesn't go on Instagram, but it sticks in heaven, I think. Simon opened the gate and froze. "Johnson, what happened to you?" Johnson told him everything. The demolition, the eviction, the night on the street. Simon listened, then shook his head slowly, this shocked smile on his face. "You came at the right time, my brother. We are moving out this weekend. The rent here is already paid for the year. I was just about to return the keys. Take the house. Stay. I will tell the landlord. And here, take something small to start your work again and help Andrew with school." It felt like one of those moments where God says, "I saw you. I saw what you did." Johnson cried. Andrew cried. Hope came back in a small, quiet way. While all this was happening, my mother and I were moving through our own storm. That same day, I came back from school, tired but relieved. My mom was waiting, worry all over her face. "Did you pay?" she asked. "Yes, Mom," I said, handing her the receipt. She exhaled like she had been holding her breath all week. "Thank God. At least one thing is done." Then guilt punched my chest. "Mom, I lost the money on the way," I admitted. "It fell from my bag. I searched everywhere." Her eyes flared. "Naomi, do you know what that money meant? He will starve us again. He will say I am useless. He will throw us out." I know. I was scared, but a man helped me, a shoemaker. He gave me all the money, his last money. My mom stared at me, then sat slowly. "A stranger did that." Her eyes watered. "God bless that man. We must find him, Naomi. People like that are rare." We decided to go the next morning, but when we got there, the road was quiet. The stalls were gone. Just broken planks, some nails, and dust. No Johnson, no sign, like he had never existed. There are few feelings worse than wanting to say thank you and finding out life moved the person you owe out of your reach. We went home confused and sad, and walked straight into another disaster. My stepfather was waiting at the door. "Where did you go?" My mom answered calmly. "We went to look for the man who helped Naomi pay her fees." He laughed, slow and nasty. "So you left my house to meet your shoemaker boyfriend. You think I am a fool?" "It's not like that," my mom said. "He helped your stepdaughter." "I am done," he snapped. "Both of you get out of my house. Go and live with your shoemaker." He threw our clothes out, our bags, our pots, right there in front of the neighbors. Again, is that fair? Or have we just gotten used to cruelty disguised as his house, his rules? We picked up our things with shaking hands and walked down the street. We sat on a small bench near a tiny shop. My mom had barely enough money left for food. Then this man came up, clothes, dirty eyes, tired. "Mama, can you help me with something to buy water?" I watched her. She hesitated, then gave him some of the last notes we had. And here comes the crazy part. He smiled, reached into his pocket, and pulled out a crumpled raffle ticket. "Take this," he said. "You will be a millionaire soon." Yeah, that happened. She almost threw it away, but for some reason she folded it and kept it. A few days later, she passed by the raffle office. Something nudged her. She went in, put the ticket on the counter. The guy checked the numbers, then looked at her like a movie director had just yelled plot twist. "Ma, this is the winning ticket." She blinked. "Winning what?" 100 million naira. The room spun. She shook, laughed, cried, asked if it was a joke. It wasn't. Papers were signed. Cameras flashed. Life did a 180. We went from begging to breathing. Not instantly rich in our heads, but finally able to stand. My mom didn't blow the money trying to look rich. She invested. Little shops, trucks, rentals. People called her Madam now, but I remembered sitting on that bench with nowhere to go. And through all of that, one name stayed printed on my heart: Johnson. I told myself, if I ever find him, I will take care of him the way he took care of me. Every year on the date he helped me, I sat somewhere quiet and whispered, "Wherever you are, sir, I didn't forget." He had no idea. 15 years went by. I became the woman nobody expected that crying girl to become. Clean office, my own company staff calling me Ma, traveling, making deals. People pointed at my car and said, she's lucky. They never saw the nights I remembered dust, eviction, and a shoemaker's shaking hand. Far away in that other city, Johnson and Andrew were fighting a slower battle. The help from Simon had carried them for a while, but life kept getting expensive and age kept catching up. Johnson's back hurt. His eyes were weaker, but he still woke up to make and fix shoes. Andrew finished university but couldn't find a job that lasted, so he worked with his grandfather at the stall because pride doesn't feed you. Every time Andrew said, "Our story will change," Johnson smiled, but inside he worried. Parents and grandparents know that feeling. Then another small moment shifted everything. One hot afternoon, my mom's shoe heel snapped while she was out. Instead of going to some big fancy place, she stopped near a simple roadside stall where a young man in an apron stood up quickly. "Good afternoon, Ma, let me help you?" He fixed her shoe softly, refused payment. "It's nothing, Ma." She watched him. The way he spoke, the way he respected her without sounding fake, the way he mentioned his grandfather, a shoemaker, and how he was just trying to find honest work. "What's your name?" she asked. "Andrew, Ma." Something clicked in her. She needed a new driver. She needed someone she could trust around me. "Andrew, I need a driver. I will pay. Well, you'll have a place to stay. Think about it. If you're interested, call this number." He did. He joined our household. He drove me to meetings, church, the airport, back home. And I noticed what my mother noticed. He was careful. Always early, always respectful. Didn't talk too much, but when he did, you felt he meant every word. He reminded me of someone I couldn't place yet, that same quiet dignity. One day, a bike cut in front of us out of nowhere. Andrew swerved just right, no panic, no curse, no drama. When the car settled, he said, "You are safe, Ma." That was it. Simple. But something in my heart said, pay attention to this one. Trips turned into small conversations. We talked about books, faith work, pressure. I asked about his family. He told me about his grandfather who raised him after his mom died young. He talked about a small shoe stall eviction struggle, but he spoke with respect, not bitterness. I started to look forward to being in the front seat. That should have been my first warning. Then one rainy day, stuck in traffic, wipers moving slow. Andrew staring at the road, I asked him, "Don't you ever feel like life cheated you with your degree and everything ending up here?" He shrugged. "Sometimes. But complaining doesn't fix anything, Ma. I'm grateful I'm working. My grandfather says if you're alive, you're not finished. You know what I mean? There are some lines you just want to underline in your soul. If you're still here listening, stick around because what happened next will blow your mind." Andrew went home one weekend to see his grandfather. When he came back, he looked both lighter and more serious. That same day, I confessed to my mom in the living room, "I think I have feelings for Andrew." She didn't shout. She didn't call me crazy. She just smiled this knowing smile. "I've watched him from the first day," she said. "If your heart is with him, I support you. We don't measure people by their salary in this house." That's when you remember who your mother really is. Still, I waited. I wanted him to speak first. One evening, he approached me carefully. "Naomi, can we talk in the garden just 5 minutes?" We stood there among the flowers, soft light in the sky. He took a deep breath. "Naomi, I know you are my boss. I know people will say I'm reaching too high, but I can't keep pretending. I'm in love with you. If this costs me my job, I will accept it, but I needed you to know." I laughed and cried at the same time. "Andrew, I've been waiting for you to say that. I love you too." Yeah, that happened. We told my mom. She was happy. She said, "Bring him properly. Let me see my son-in-law." Then Andrew said something that set up the twist of my lifetime. "I want you to meet my grandfather," he told me. "He is all I have. Before I ask you to marry me, he needs to know who you are." We drove together to his place one Saturday. The area was simple. Cracked walls, narrow lanes, kids running barefoot, the sort of place I don't ever want to forget I came from. We walked into a small living room with an old brown sofa and a faint smell of polish. We sat down. My heart was beating faster than it should have. Maybe it was nerves. Maybe it was the feeling that something huge was right around the corner. The front door opened. An older man walked in holding a small black nylon bag, looking tired but strong in that way only people who have survived too much can look. "Grandpa," Andrew said, jumping up. "This is Naomi." I stood, smiled. "Good afternoon, sir." "Good afternoon, my daughter," he said, smiling like a warm sunrise. "Andrew, you didn't tell me your visitor is this beautiful." We all laughed, and that's when it hit me. His voice, his eyes, his posture. My heart tripped. "Sir," I asked slowly, "what is your name?" He looked a little confused. "They call me Johnson." Everything in the room faded out. I stepped closer, hands shaking. "Did you, many years ago, have a small shoemaker's shed by the roadside near the old market with an umbrella and a wooden table?" His eyes narrowed, searching my face. One morning, I continued, my voice cracking, a schoolgirl sat crying because she lost her school fees. You gave her 4,000 naira, your last money, and told her to be serious in school, not follow bad friends, and never forget your name. You said your name was Johnson. Silence. Then his mouth fell open. You, he whispered, you were that girl. I dropped to my knees. Yes, sir, my name is Naomi. I never forgot you. You saved me. Andrew stared at us in shock. Grandpa, this is the girl from your story, the one you always talked about. Johnson's hands started to tremble. Tears filled his eyes. My daughter, look at you. I always wondered. I always prayed God would take care of you, but I never thought. I took his hands. Sir, you didn't just help me. That day changed everything. After you helped me, my stepfather threw us out. A stranger gave us a raffle ticket. My mother won 100 million naira. We built our lives from that. Every blessing that followed is tied to what you did when you had nothing. I've been searching for you for years. I never knew the man I love is your grandson. Try to tell me destiny doesn't have a sense of drama. That was the twist that flipped everything. The poor shoemaker who saved a girl from shame now sat in front of the woman that girl had become, his future granddaughter-in-law. He cried. Andrew cried. I cried. My makeup was gone at that point, but who cares? Right then I knew I wasn't just going to say thank you and disappear. I wanted to rewrite his ending. A few days later, we asked him to sit outside his small place. A car pulled up. Men came out carrying bags of rice, cartons of food, cooking oil, clothes. Naomi, what is all this? He asked, bewildered. This, I said, is just a small start. For every day you went hungry but still chose kindness. I handed him an envelope. He opened it, saw his name on a check, his hands shaking. 10 million naira, Grandpa Johnson. This is yours. He broke, full sobs. It's too much, he cried. I can't take this, my daughter. It's not too much, I said. It's not even enough. Then I gave him another envelope. Inside was a set of keys and property documents. This is the key to your new home, I told him. A 5-bedroom duplex, fully furnished, in your name. No landlord, no eviction notices, no one kicking your things into the street ever again. He dropped to his knees. God, you remembered me. Andrew held him crying into his shoulder. My mom came up and hugged them both. A few weeks later, we had a garden wedding. Nothing crazy, no royalty, just family music, color, and a shoemaker in a clean embroidered outfit sitting proud at the front, watching his grandson marry the girl whose life he once saved. And months later, when I placed our newborn twin boys into his arms, I said, meet your great-grandsons. This is your harvest. He kissed their foreheads and whispered, I gave my last money to a stranger and God gave me this. Now here is where I need you. Because as beautiful as this sounds, I struggle with it sometimes. Yes, it's a story of kindness rewarded. Yes, it feels like proof that what goes around comes around. But is it justice? Or just mercy for one man in a world where millions like him never get this ending? Is it fair that a good man had to sleep on the street for his goodness to become a story? Is it fair that a child's education hung on a stranger's sacrifice while the people with power walked past her? Should doing the right thing always feel this risky? If you were in Johnson's position that morning, last savings in your pocket, rent overdue, a hungry grandson depending on you, would you still have handed that money to me? Or would you have looked away and told yourself, I have my own problems? Be honest. Some people who hear this call him foolish. Some call him a hero. Some say God rewarded him. Others say it shouldn't take a miracle or a raffle ticket or a twist of fate for decent people to survive. So tell me what you think. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Argue with me. Agree with me. Tell me if you think this was destiny, coincidence, or just a broken system with a rare happy ending. If you've ever been saved by a stranger's kindness or given more than you could afford to someone in trouble, share your story because someone out there needs to hear it. If this story hit you in the chest, even a little tap, like so more people see it, share it with a friend who thinks their kindness doesn't matter, and subscribe for more real stories like this. Because sometimes the only thing standing between despair and a miracle is one dangerous decision to be kind when it makes no sense.